because I've got like Pakistani in me, or I'm like, you know, like when the area that I grew up in,
Which is where?
which is West London, West 9.
Is there a name to it?
Yeah, like it's like you know where Carnival is?
The Notting Hill?
Yeah, like Notting Hill, Harrow, them sides, yeah. Basically, that was predominantly a white Irish area at first, and then like I did school there and stuff like that, and they didn't really have much. That time they didn't, like, first generation came like from Asia and stuff. They didn't really have this was like the first generation where the kids were brown, so they got a little stick about that because it was very unusual at that time. So there's only a few of us in the school, so I found it to be kind of difficult. It was a, you know, there was kind of quite a few races and texts and stuff like that. But here's the funny thing, like when I'd go back to Pakistan, they'd be calling me white, and when I'm over here, they're calling me brown.
So you never fit in. You're always young or now.
So that's why I'm like, that's why I'm so against kind of like this pride of tribalism and all that type of thing. It just, you know, like it doesn't. Maybe, I mean, it helps, I guess, in a way that I've never really kind of, like maybe fit in anyway. But it's just such a waste of time, like to be. It's no problem being proud of where you're from, but kind of to think it's somehow it makes you more superior than anyone else.
Of course, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
That's just kind of like what allows racism into people's homes and lives, and ultimately in their heart and stuff. And I think the best way to eradicate that, if you have the option, is to find a spouse that's mixed to mix it up, because it will just eliminate that completely. You know, mixed children, they don't really kind of, oh yeah, I'm half from here and I'm half from there, and like it's just like,
I'm just a person and I'm dealing with it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
They focus on being a human being at the end of the day, which is what a lot of people that are from like single places kind of miss out, so to speak.
No, it's so true. And whatever place it might be, they just take it too seriously. They just take it too literally. It's like, oh, I'm here. No.
Yeah, and here's the funny thing: like they had a choice. Like they was asked, where would you want to be born, and what country would you like to come from? You know, that right hasn't been given to them even. It is what it is. So. How about
we're
Italy?
All just people. We're all just doing things.
Yeah, that's it. It's just humanity should come first before anything else. Doesn't matter if people are different and stuff. What about in Italy? Did you ever face anything like that? Or?
I did all the time. Like people are very racist in Italy, and like they used to assume that my mum was a cleaner just because she was blonde.
Oh, okay, that's a bit of a stereotype.
So if you're blonde, you're Polish, which means you're a cleaner.
Right.
Obvious equation. So yeah, we're victims of a lot of like racism, and that's racism if you want. Like it doesn't really matter where you're from, but if anybody assumes things about you because of the colour of your skin and the way you look, it's racism, isn't it? It doesn't matter.
It's very shallow-minded, isn't it?
Yeah, it really, really is. But Italy is quite a backwards country in terms of this kind of thing, so it doesn't really surprise me.
But it's a religious country though as well, isn't
Very
it?
religious, yeah, very religious.
Did you grow up on? What did you grow up on? Like what faith?
Well, it used to be like full-on Catholic until I was like 16, and then I was like, oh, hang on, this makes no sense. Like, why would I be Catholic? It makes no sense.
So you don't follow that?
No. Are you religious?
Am I religious? Depends how you define religious. Like, what do you mean?
Do you believe in something?
Yeah, I've got a religion. I believe in God and stuff. Yeah, but like when you say religious, it's kind of like that's kind of a broad kind of. I mean, it really depends on what limitation religious gets to. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I'm a Muslim, but you know, if you're asking, am I in a mosque all day? No, just part of the day.
Yeah.
Or parts of the day. Yeah. So, like, when you say that the Catholic doesn't really make sense and stuff, yeah. What did you have problems with the Trinity, or what was it exactly? Do you believe in God?
I suppose when I think about life, I don't really like life in a scientific way.
Yeah. I
don't really see where God fits into that life. I'm like,
how? When you say scientific way, how do you mean?
Well, we're things and we're born and I just think, is there like intelligence in that, or are
But
we just going through the motions?
science hasn't proven that God doesn't exist. It's just that science has not been able to prove that God does exist.
Yeah.
But it proves many of God's signs, and religion does provide answers that no other place can. Like, for example, what's the purpose of life? What's the purpose, do you think, of your life?
Well, I mean, I think I've got a very selfish purpose.
A very what, sorry? Selfish?
Purpose.
Okay.
Which is to be happy and make children.
Okay. For what reason, though?
Because they're the things that I feel that are right for me to do. There's no rationale behind it. I just feel like I should be happy and make children.
And what about your thoughts on how we came about?
How we came about?
Yeah. Would you say evolution?
Well, I think we're a miracle of nature, really.
You know, okay, here's the thing. The definition of miracle, it means like something that is not normal. It's something out of the norm.
I think we are normal.
Okay, but nature, it's something that that follows laws. It has its kind of limitations. It has laws. It has boundaries. So if you say miracle of nature, it's kind of like they're both opposites, so to speak.
I see what you're saying.
Because a miracle is like a phenomenon, you know, like it's like, wow, this is something that we're not used to seeing. It's not an everyday thing. It's miraculous, and it's kind of and when we say miracles, we say it's from God because it's something that is not of the norm. But nature does follow. There is patterns. There's laws that govern it. You know. Yeah, do you get what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
But
I don't know. I think sometimes it's best to accept that there isn't a pattern. I mean, obviously, sometimes I love to think there is a pattern. Everything happens for a reason. But other times, I think things are random, and it makes us feel better that there's a pattern.
Okay, let me ask you another thing. Yeah, you see your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
What are they for?
For seeing stuff.
And your ears?
For perceiving stuff.
Okay, so these functions that you have, one of many, yeah. You know what they do and you know what their purpose is, but you yourself, you think you have no purpose?
What do you mean?
I mean, like, we are equipped with these tools, yeah? And they have functions and purposes. But us ourselves, it would be illogical to think that we don't have a purpose and a function.
So what is our function?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm asking you. Like, what do you think our purpose of life is? What do you think the goal is? I mean, like, we're dead a lot longer than we are alive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like 300-400 years from now, someone that's been dead 300-400 years, they was only alive for 60-70 years, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So for them to have the ideology that you've said, that, you know, we're just here to make children and carry on and stuff. It's just like, okay, well, that's happened, but it doesn't, you know, like, where are we going with that? You know what I'm saying? It seems like an empty cause. Like, okay, we recreate, but then why? What is the point of it?
I have no idea. If I knew, I would probably be a much happier person. I have no idea.
You think, why would you say you'd be happy? Do you feel as if there's something missing in your life?
Yeah, maybe.
You think if you knew these answers, you'd be more content, more happy?
Maybe it would be, yeah.
I can almost guarantee you if that is true. You know, like here's the thing, yeah. If you're gonna adopt a faith, yeah, or if you're ever gonna think about religion and stuff, first of all, it should make logical sense to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Never take a religion on if it requires blind faith from the get-go, because that's just not fair to ask.
Of course, yeah.
You see, in Islam, we believe in one God. Yeah, and by definition, that creator is uncreated. So, what I mean by that is, like, if I was to produce a video game, I set the laws inside that game. Yeah, but I don't need to comply to those laws. Like, if I create a man and it breathes underwater, I don't need to. Do you understand?
Yeah, you create.
So there's a distinction.
What happens is
right.
Yours.
No. That's free will. I mean, it's not like God doesn't know what's going to happen, but we have to have a level of free will, because if we didn't, how would we be judged accordingly? Do you get what I'm saying? How can I be accountable for my actions and be judged upon it if God is going to intervene? That wouldn't be just, would it? It wouldn't be like, we wouldn't have a fair God. We wouldn't have a just. We wouldn't be able to justify. I wouldn't be able to justify my actions, because I'd be like, well, like Minority Report. You've kind of intervened before I've done the sin, so how can you judge me upon it? So it has to happen. You see, and that's basically what free will is. So we have been given this chance. Like, life is a test, and do you believe in like karma and stuff? What goes around comes around and stuff?
Of course I do.
Yeah?
100%, yeah.
Okay, well, take this first scenario, yeah? You see Hitler, yeah?
Yeah.
Some would say he's a really bad person for what he did, okay? He killed thousands and thousands of people. Now, what's the worst thing that could happen to him in his lifetime?
He would lose the ones that he loves and kill himself.
Right. Or get tortured and die slowly, yeah? But that would never equate, that wouldn't balance all the pain he's caused all those other victims and their families and whatever else, isn't it? Yeah. So for him to paid his dues at the end of the